Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome to episode 6 of
Swim Moms of New Jersey. This is Renee.
I'm Rochelle. Just in case you all don't know, if you don't know, then you should go back and watch the other 5 episodes.
Yeah, hopefully
because I think they were really good.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I've had a really long week.
You have had a long week.
I've been like a little gypsy all week. You know, the kids just got off of school. We did something really cool, just like for everybody out there to know. We went to the safari at Six Flags, but we stayed there. And it was like one of the coolest things. Like you wake up with giraffes and like in a tent and the windows are plastic.
I didn't know that was a thing, actually, until you sent it to me.
Do you know a lot of people said that to me?
Yeah.
And like now I have friends that have booked it because I had sent them videos of like I felt like I was in The Lion King.
That was cool.
Right?
Very cool.
Yeah.
I just remember like the safari being a thing you drove through.
I know.
I love that
with the like the what is it? The monkeys with the red butts, like the baboons?
Yes.
I think they're the baboons. Anyway, so that was really cool. Then we went away for a little bit, dropped my kids off. I went away for a day.
Yeah.
Literally back and forth, and now I'm back.
Now you're back.
Now I'm
Welcome back.
Yeah, so happy Father's Day to anybody who, to everybody who celebrated.
Yeah.
Not anybody.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, it was
Father's
fun.
Day. Awesome.
It was fun. So,
So.
anyway, episode 6, we're starting.
Yes,
we
are.
should start with, last time we left off, our mascot did not have a name. And I said that a special guest would announce its name. And its
we have a name.
Is?
Splash.
I will call it Splashy, though.
Yeah, and thanks to Ryan Lochte for announcing his name.
Thank you, Ryan. You're the best. Yeah, he liked that. He liked that name, too. I actually did run down all the names with him. And he liked Splash the best. So,
I like
and thank you,
Splash.
Paula, because she's the one who, I mean, we had a lot of names. Like, we had Bubbles, Streamlined Sue, and DQ. He did like DQ.
Yeah.
And I did, too.
I did, too.
Yeah, but then we settled on Splash.
I like Splash.
Yeah. So that is our mascot's name, and it will be traveling with us.
And we love him.
Or her.
Or her. Right. It.
Boy moms, but this boy mom leans towards a her.
And I don't. It's so funny. I keep having to bring you back.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a her. She's like, it's a he. And I'm like, it could be both.
It could be an it.
It can be an it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what are our headlines this week?
We have so many things to talk. I'm actually so excited for today.
Yeah.
Like we have, honestly, at first, this always happens. In the beginning of the week when we're like, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, we're going to run out of some things to say, and what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
And then we start like with our subjects, and like we were just running down our list before we started. And then we started like chatting about it. I'm like, no, don't tell me. Save it, because I'm so excited like to actually like talk about it with you.
Yeah,
right?
agreed.
Even though I talk to you all the time. So that's why I'm like, shh, don't, until we start.
And now we started.
So,
All right, so.
USA swimming headlines.
Yeah.
Should we start? You want to?
Yeah,
go
let's
ahead.
start.
You
So,
go first.
IOC announced that it's going to be giving our Olympians $10,000.
Yep.
10,000 whole dollars.
Fit for the Future grants.
Yes.
Starting, actually, they're going to go back to the Winter Olympics. They're going to give. So it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Everybody gets $10,000. If you live in the USA, you get $10,000. If you live in somewhere where $10,000 is $1 million, you get $10,000.
Yeah. That's it just doesn't seem like enough. I mean, we have kids in sports. We know the cost of being an athlete, not even at that level.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out, the math isn't mathing.
No, but I think that they were in a hard spot because of, what's her name, Christy Coventry's statement about not paying Olympians, and like it was very bad PR for them. Everyone went nuts over that. And so they were like, we need to fix something. So not her. She did not come out and say this, actually. It was an announcement by somebody else high up there. I actually felt for him because like he was taking one for the team at that point, right? But it's not enough, no. But thank you to the Enhanced Games for like starting this conversation.
Yeah, and I do feel like the Enhanced Games, listen, like there's a lot wrong with that concept, but listen, it got people talking, so.
Yeah. There is a lot wrong with that concept because obviously, like we all know I buy organic. But the point is that I don't want my kids putting anything in their body, and I don't want them looking up to anybody who puts anything in their body.
Correct.
But like there is an interesting story because at one point I had asked Ryan, why were you and Michael Phelps eating McDonald's like all the time at these Olympics? Like, because you're Olympians.
I remember seeing that on TV. It was a big headline.
Big thing. Like they're always eating McDonald's, and he had said that like they were worried about the steroids in like other meats and stuff, so they knew that McDonald's was safe.
Got it.
So that's how clean they are.
Yeah.
Like to the point where like if something showed up in a meat that was like from a different country, they were worried that would like skew a test, and so they didn't want to do that. I just thought he liked McDonald's.
Yeah, and it would have been really fun. I could go either way. Sometimes I love McDonald's.
Oh my God, that's why I gained so much weight when I was pregnant. Because of McDonald's. So thank you. Do you want to sponsor us? No.
Yeah. Send us some French fries.
I'm kidding. We don't need that.
And NCAA, they had a big announcement. So they have officially passed the 5 for 5, so the age-based eligibility rule. So that allows our athletes, so Division I specifically, athletes, to have 5 years of eligibility instead of 4 years of eligibility that they had previously. But it has to occur in the course of 4 years, and it eliminates any redshirting or gap years, with a few exceptions. You know,
like religious or military, and it starts at 19. So like the clock starts ticking right away.
Yeah, I mean it starts immediately or when you're 19.
Right.
So like the immediately upon enrollment or 19, and then it's consecutive years. So those are the big changes. Now, ironically, I just read a headline this morning that said,
because you were going to tell me this. I'm
like,
stop. Save it. I want to hear it when everyone else hears it.
Now there's a lawsuit. There's a lawsuit that's in effect on behalf of 16 basketball players. And they graduated, they were class of 2026. They were incoming in 2022, I guess. And so all these graduates, they just graduated, and they feel like they are entitled to
another year
as well.
Interesting. I would think it would be the opposite, where like the incoming would be suing because they might be that's interesting.
The way I see it, and I mean, listen, like maybe I'm slightly biased because I'm on the other side of it, but I do feel like you have to cut it off somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, and these athletes are no longer covered under the umbrella of NCAA because they're done. Like they've graduated by now.
Yep.
So like this rule was passed after they graduated.
Right.
So yes, like I understand. I mean, maybe it's worth a try, but
I don't think it's gonna. I honestly, like, I'm all for the athlete, but I think that this is like a dumb lawsuit. Sorry.
I mean, everybody's
sorry for my opinion, but
well, and it's crazy because all these lawsuits seem to have big impacts.
Oh yeah, on all the other athletes,
like especially Olympic sports.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, although this is going to have a big impact on all sports.
On D1, not just D1 though, right. D2, D3, because there's going to be less spots open for incoming 2027 freshmen, right?
Yeah.
So then those kids, unfortunately, are gonna, well, unfortunately for them who wanted to swim D1, will then trickle down to D2 and D3, and so it will take spots. I think it will reach an equilibrium.
Yeah, it'll normalize.
Yeah, because like there were people coming back into the sport before. That's what they're trying to stop, kind of. But this kind of like encourages people to stay an extra year. So it's not the one-off person that was coming back. It is like
an entire class.
So there's going to be less spots.
It impacts the recruiting class, right? Because now there's definitely, and we're still on the heels of the ruling, the House versus NCAA ruling, which implemented roster caps. And so like we're still on the heels of that. That was very relevant in our recruiting journey. And so like there's already a trickle down effect of people that got cut from programs and they ended up like either going to other D1 programs, or maybe they went to D2 or D3 or otherwise.
Does this affect Ivies? Because I should have researched this more, but I just remembered off the top of my head.
It affects all D1, so this affects Ivies.
So there was something about that I read, and we will get back to you on this, where somebody was saying it's different for Ivies.
Well, the roster caps is different for Ivies.
Oh, okay. There we go.
The roster caps, it's, I don't remember. It's if they are, the Ivy Leagues, they are not bound by the roster caps because it's part of the funding and everything, and so they don't have to, that rule does not impact them. But this rule is all of NCAA
But still, like,
Division
so
I.
they will. So before, where people were like, maybe I shouldn't commit to an Ivy because the process, and you don't know if you're
Right.
going to get in at the end of the day with your grades, everything. This kind of makes them more appealing.
Yeah.
Makes them a little bit more appealing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the other change is that you're now only allowed one transfer year. So listen, this is in reaction to all of the football and basketball players that like just jump around with NIL.
Yep. And it kind of sucks because, like, if you're rooting for your team,
Yeah.
you want that person to stay.
Yeah. So with NIL, they were jumping around from team to team, the highest bidder, like, and so this like slows that down. They get
Yeah.
one transfer, and like programs can build teams. Like they're not just at risk of losing
Right,
their
right, right.
players or swimmers to like the next program that will pay
Yeah.
them the most. I feel like there's less of that in swimming, but I'm sure it exists.
I mean, there's still a lot of transfers. Like, I hear it
Yeah.
like all the time about,
Yeah.
Between the good schools almost
Yeah.
kind of. They're
Well,
you
this
know.
year in particular, because of the roster caps, there were so many transfers.
Yeah.
And that already impacted the class of 2026, and now this will now impact the 2027 and 2028s. Probably 2028s more, because a lot of, at least the Power 4 D1 schools they already have a good number of 2027 commits
That's true.
now.
That's true. Like, yeah, you're right.
So
I just hope they get your shit together before my kid.
there'll be more changes, I'm sure. And who
There will
knows
be.
what
There will be
what
more
will
changes.
happen
There will be.
when this
If
lawsuit.
everybody doesn't realize that the reason I go like this all the time is because I sit on my leg just in case.
I actually just noticed
You
that.
just
Are you trying to be taller?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
short. I'm very short in real life. So like the reason why I'm always sitting on my leg, which then falls asleep and I have to kind of twist it.
Yeah.
And I also said to Renee that I have to look more at you versus her when she's talking. Oh, that's real life. It's
just
okay.
told them no.
It's okay. We told them recording in progress. It's okay. Don't
right.
worry. Do you need to get it?
No. It's always.
Oh no.
Oh, is that me? Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh.
Ah!
ESPN is on at my house.
All right, guys, we're gonna be back. There
One
we go.
second. Give us a second, and we will continue this episode uninterrupted. Oh, there we go. We're back to
That was
episode 6.
There's always something,
There's
right?
always something.
There's just.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
We're trying to make it fun, you know?
Yeah. So I was listening to another podcast. Not to criticize. Listen, we're not perfect.
We're not.
I think I've said that multiple times.
We're
we
not
really
at
are
all.
not.
We're not at all.
perfect.
We don't. Yeah.
But I feel like that was so boring.
I know. I do think we're fun.
I have listened to other podcasts that are very good. So not all podcasts are boring. And we have not figured everything out. But like, I think at the very least, like, I don't think we're boring.
No. So I was showing my kids and my husband, like, I'm like, don't you think that's so funny? Like, I was showing us, like, little blips.
Yeah.
And, like, I can see it on their face. I wanted to laugh, but they kind of
They
didn't want
won't.
to, like, amuse me almost. That, like, and tell me, like, yes, you guys are funny. But I'm like, I know you think
So I have
you are.
one for you.
Yeah.
So my son, we were driving, and my son, like my husband, was like, "Did you see that the 5 for 5 eligibility rule was just approved?" And my son goes, "Yes, because of Swim Moms of NJ."
OMG.
So it was our post that educated my child.
I
So.
do think that we have a good mix. I mean,
Yeah.
not to toot our horn here or anything like that, but we are trying to educate all of you as much as we can.
And educate ourselves.
And educate
Like-
ourselves. Yeah, I definitely learning a lot.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we have to research the things that we're talking about.
Yeah, we don't want to sound like
because we are
like-
not experts.
Right,
Um,
right.
But
And like, I would never really know all these headlines if it wasn't for us, like,
No.
trying to
I agree.
bring the education to all of you.
So I was at Summer Sizzle this morning,
Oh yeah, how did I-
and well, I was timing, so that was fun. I only needed to call for a backup timer one time. I did not get in trouble for recording behind the blocks, but that's okay.
You gotta call me out like that. You gotta do me dirty like that.
But Kennedy Jobson was there.
Really?
Yeah. So
You didn't even tell me this.
I'm telling you now.
Whoa. Okay, that's fun.
So I'm gonna. I have met her mom a couple times, and I was very tempted to ask for a Swim Mom interview, but it was so hectic. Like,
You
and
should have done
the
it. She gonna be back
EEX team.
tomorrow?
Great job to the EEX team. They're not a huge team, but they run these meets very well,
Mm-hmm.
and seems like a well-oiled machine. And so everybody had their job in their places, and so So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to connect with her tomorrow. But
that would be fun.
yeah, we'll see.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So, We're moving on a little bit quickly.
Yeah.
I know.
We were so long last week.
We were, but like we have a really, really, really good main topic.
Yeah, we've got
that I know is going to take up a lot of this time.
So I got a stat for you.
Yeah.
All right. So did you know that 70% of athletes quit organized sports by the time they're 13 years old?
I did not know that exact stat, no, but I knew it was high.
Yeah.
I knew it was high because, I'm talking to you. For most of you who don't know, in college, I was a double major in psychology and exercise physiology. And I did do a lot of, my thesis was done on athletes and non-athletes. So I did, I am well versed in this subject, but it makes me sad, and I think that number is going up higher every year because of the pressure that the kids have on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that brings us to our...
Yeah, and we did a poll, right?
Yeah, we did a poll. Oh, yeah. So our poll was, it was basically a yes or no. Do you think that parents are putting too much pressure on teen athletes these days?
Yeah.
And 78% of you said yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a shift. So my oldest son, who's not a swimmer, is 21 now. And I see a shift just since he was little, just with sports and the need to specialize in sports so young. And it's changed a lot. But it's funny because we've been scratching our head about the Paula reel and video. So we have a reel on Instagram and Facebook, and one of our favorite swim mom friends, Paula, was in the video, and it seemed to really resonate with our followers because it's almost 9,000 likes
every day,
or
and
views.
we're like trying to figure out like what is her magic sauce. Like I was like, what is it that she has, and like it was her message.
It was her message.
It was her message.
Basically, she's just a laid back, happy, content mom who's there for her kid, but no pressure. Just she doesn't know it was her confession that she doesn't know her child's events or heats or lanes. She just goes and she's there and she cheers.
Her,
but and so clearly,
and even athletes had commented and said, I wish
the way it's supposed to be.
This is how it's supposed to be. I wish all parents were kind of like that.
And we've had other swim teams share that reel. So it's really, I mean, we were really, of all the videos that we posted, and we've posted a lot. It was amazing to see that one just take off.
And it continues on a daily basis. Sorry, I'm
so thank you, Paula.
Thank you, Paula.
Yeah, but it got us thinking about what was it about that video that really resonated with our followers and just swimmers and coaches and teams. And so we started thinking about sports and just youth sports, but swimming specifically, and the pressure our kids as athletes face and why they might end up wanting to quit by the time they're 13.
And we totally acknowledge the fact that everybody has different parenting styles, because I mean, just in our two families, we have 4 different parents, and I really think that every single one of us is different.
So different. We were just having this conversation.
Completely different. They're completely different. We're different, and I mean, we're similar in a lot of ways, but we're still different, right?
I think so.
Our husbands are different. I think we have a range of a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we may. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm probably the more competitive one in my family. I don't think I'm over the top competitive, although some might disagree.
I think I'm secretly inside competitive, but I'm not like that.
I think you're more competitive than you think you are. And my husband, he grew up with parents like Paula, and so supportive, and they were, so he played sports, but it was always for fun. And driven very much by him. And so he played sports his entire life, and he ended up playing club sports in college, like club volleyball, but he did it just because he loved sports. And so when I was reading, it said, there's 2 questions to ask. One, why is your swimmer, why does your child like to swim or want to be a swimmer? And then the other one is, why do you want them to be a swimmer?
Right.
And so you have to make sure those 2 things are aligned.
And I think that is a hard question, because you have to be really honest with yourself at that moment, and sometimes you kind of don't want to be. And so, but what I find in those moments is that's when you grow as a person, and grow as a parent and become better.
Well, and it's so conflicting too, because I mean, I know we've talked about this, but we both have kids that are very different. And so if I'm just talking about my two swimmers,
Yeah.
like they could not be more different in just what drives them. Like I have one that's very self-motivated and that one that needs a little push. And so I have to parent them differently. And like sometimes I do push, but like what is okay? Like is it not okay to push? Like, do I just let them play video games and eat Doritos?
I think you really need to know your child, like, and listen to your kid.
Yeah.
I have two completely different kids, and it confuses the heck out of me because one, they're total opposites. Like, I'm going to give you an example. Like, my older one does not respond to, "Can you please go do that for me?" like no. Like he, and we have an amazing relationship, and we're super close. But I mean, and I love that he will participate in anything. He's like a yeser,
Yeah.
Like he's like, I want to swim.
Yeah.
He didn't care what anybody thought about him. He was
like 14, right?
14, going into high school. He's like, I'm going to swim.
Yeah.
And like, not just that, but he believes in himself, and I love that. Like,
Yeah.
I love that, right?
Yeah.
He has like this blind, and I think, you know what it is now? Something just came to me. I don't know if I told you the story, but so my older son played tennis. And he started when he was like 6, or he started when he was 5, but I think we started with him with private lessons like around he was like 6 or 7. And I would come every week for the private lesson, right? And I remember his coach was Jason, and at the end of the day, like at the end of the lesson, Jason would be like, I don't know if this is for him. He'd be like, I really don't want to take your money. And I would be like, all right, I'll see you next week, Jason. Because I knew that my kid needed to be in a sport, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, it wasn't just tennis. We were finding his thing. Like we
Right.
were in baseball. We were in boys hip hop. We were doing a ton of basketball, soccer. They're not for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he liked tennis. Like he enjoyed it. So I was like, all right, I'll see you next week. And this happened every day. I kid you not, for at least 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And then like years later, he would be like, he goes to me like, you were right. And I'm like, I know I was right. And something kind of similar happened with Valen when he was younger, and he was in Lifetime, and he was young. And anyway, they didn't want to take him on the team because he was like 4.5. Mm-hmm. But like he can do it, right? And so I had to find the right fit for him, basically. Anyway, I didn't mean to call anybody out there, but
we're trying to get better about that.
Yeah, I am really sorry.
We both need work on that.
Yeah, it was a good fit for somebody else. Anyway.
I know. So like, when is it okay to, I think there's probably the right balance, but knowing that balance and being aware of that balance, they say that the thing that the swimmers hate the most is the car ride home after a bad meet. Yeah. And that makes me sad. And like I feel like I've had tough conversations with my kids in the car ride home. I can remember some not great car rides, but like, I don't think as a parent, my expectations are more around like our values and like character building and, like, are you listening to your coach and being coachable and like not making the same mistakes? Are you trying your hardest? Like that. The only times I feel like I've ever really gotten upset with any of my kids is when like those things are misaligned. Like when they're like just not holding true to like our values. And
that I 100% agree with you. Yeah. I also have, again, like I said, 2 very different children. So everything I learned with the first one did not work on the second one. Okay. But I've learned that I have to listen to my kids, right? So again, my older one, if he swims or plays bad, he likes to talk it through. Yeah. Like he loves to talk it through, and more in the sense of, but next time I'm going to do this and it's going to be great. I'm like, okay, great, perfect.
I know. He always is smiling no matter what.
No matter what.
He's just
like,
always like,
I'm going to do great next time.
He's just
I'm going to get the high point at the sprint meet. I'm like, okay.
Get that tech suit up.
I'm like, we'll see. We'll see. But I love that about him, right? My younger one, I've learned he doesn't like to talk after, and I'm okay with that. And I give him his time to like, he's an introvert, so he really is in his head.
I feel like I'm stuck.
Yeah, are you stuck? You're good. You're good. You want to? Do you want to? No.
I'm a leg crosser, and there's no room.
Okay. Yeah, because we're under. Anyway, other side of the bar. Yeah. So my little one is different. He doesn't like to talk about things. He does like, and he likes to. he's very, I always say, very mature, I think, for his age. So when we do talk, it's like I have to give him my full attention, and we really are like one and talking things through. So I feel like the solution in that case is you have to be aware and very in tune with your child.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
And some of the things that I realized, like with my younger son, who's not like a naturally competitive human,
And that's okay.
See? He has amazing gifts and talents, and he's actually a fine swimmer. He just doesn't love it. And so but what I've noticed is like when it's him that decides that he wants to do something differently, and then like every once in a while there's a spark of self-motivation. And then it's when it's driven by him, like he's most successful.
Yeah.
So it's always just remembering that, like the temptation is to try to mold them or get them to be a certain way, when really just kind of give them the tools that they need to like figure it out themselves.
Yeah.
And sometimes we got to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, and that's the thing is though, that is what life is.
Yeah.
Right? Like we cannot hold their hand through every step of life. So this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning, and so we just have to, like I said, give them the tool. Yeah, like you said, you said, give them the tool. I did say that. I was gonna say that in my head.
I didn't know that.
In my head, I said that. Well, give them the tools they need.
It's funny because like I feel like I struggle sometimes because I'm a competitive person. I was a gymnast, so gymnastics, swimming is a really tough sport. I was a gymnast at Rutgers. So Division I, so I have that perspective, like, so I know what it takes to get there. I know, I did it, did I say? But I know the hard work that it takes to get there, and it's not for everyone. I know how much work it is once you get there. I was raised by two very different parents. And so like my dad was like super hard. Like he was like a hard sports parent. Who would like be very upset with us if we didn't perform well. And then my mom was the exact opposite. She was the Paula in our family. Aww. And so but she had her own things like bribery. Like I can't tell you how many animals I had growing up, like ferrets, dogs, cats, like so many.
I love that.
Yeah, puppies.
Puppies. We don't talk about that.
But yeah, so like I feel.
Well, how did it feel when like your dad was hard on you? Did it motivate you more?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe to an extent. No, I don't think that had any impact on my performance, because I think basically, like, you're gonna perform how you're gonna perform. I don't think that helps. I think it just makes you more nervous. Like, because then you have to, because if you don't succeed, then like you're not only upset because you didn't do great, but then you also have to deal with your parent.
True.
So,
yeah. And I hate that. I hate when kids say, and even my kids like have in the past mistaken this for like us like being concerned versus us like them disappointing us. And like I don't want them to do anything in the mindset of I don't want to disappoint my parent. Yeah. You know, like that's super important to me.
But I also don't want to lie. Like I will never lie to my kids know that I won't lie to them. I am not going to be the parent that says great job if they didn't do a great job.
Oh, I will be. But my husband won't.
I can say, what is it? I love to watch you swim.
Oh, apparently. I love that line. Yeah, I love to watch you swim.
I just read that. I love to watch you swim is all you need to say. So I'm going to start trying that. Yeah. I don't try to coach them for sure, but I will never lie to them. In fact, it's so funny because like I'm never going to tell them they did great if they didn't do great. And so they know when like they do something great and I am like super, you know what I mean? They know because they know they've earned that.
I wasn't going to share this, but
one more thing. Yeah. And then, and so I feel like I forgot.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just am.
When you said the word great, it sparked something. And like, I actually wasn't going to share this because I really don't talk about Ryan that much just because I'm very protective of our friendship and, you know. But I remember his dad saying something and like he would always ask his dad, am I great? Like after he would win things, right? Like we're talking about like big things, like, you know, like Pan Pacific or like world championships thing. And like the day that he got his gold medal and set a world record, he had come up to his dad and I think he hugged him or something. And like his dad whispered to his ears, like, "You are great."
Aw,
and like, yeah, right. I almost started crying
so
when and like it's when he says it. Okay, sorry, we were interrupted by, I don't know, a preset alarm that I had on my phone. I'm not even going to tell you what the alarm was for.
I love that story. I actually thought while you were talking about it, I did think of what I was going to say.
Okay, tell me.
And so it's funny because my older son, my older swimmer, is he will get mad at me. Like if I try to be like, okay, well, it wasn't a great race, but like, you know, like think of it this way, he gets mad at, he doesn't want to hear it.
That's
like
funny.
he does not, he appreciates my parenting.
That's funny because Valen says the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't say that. You know it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, we just won't talk.
Yeah, so.
That's funny. That they're very alike like that.
Yeah.
So I did want to talk a little bit about like the biology behind all of this, just because.
Because that's your thing, right?
It is my thing. I don't like saying that. Like
no, but let everybody know who you are.
It's even weird. It's like even weirder sometimes. Where like I don't like to be like, well, I'm a doctor. Like I don't know why. Like I earned it. Like I don't know why I wouldn't.
Proud.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, so when I was in college, I did study cortisol levels. And the difference between cortisol levels between like elite, like I'm talking about like elite athletes and just regular people, right? And we would make them do the same thing. Like we would make the athlete do the same thing to their like VO2 max. Like so, like it wasn't like the same thing, meaning like they didn't run like 3 miles an hour, but like their body thought it was the same thing.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So because I want to make sure I'm explaining it right to everybody. And so in these athletes, their cortisol levels, when they got to their maximum, did not rise, okay? And, you know, that means kind of like their body was not in fight or flight. They were enjoying what they were doing. Like, somebody like me who does not like to exercise,
as we talk about master swimming.
I do not, like, I was like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But then in regular people, when they would get to their max, their cortisol levels will be elevated, right? Meaning that, and that kind of explains why they were not elite athletes, because they don't like to do it, right?
It doesn't feel good.
Right, and so when you associate something with what you don't like to do, you kind of quit.
Right.
So in this same sense, like you could kind of extrapolate that, right? Like people who have like severe anxiety, or they have bad experiences or continuously bad experiences, like even prior to starting that event or that day or that practice, their cortisol levels will rise, right? And so they will, it's like a Pavlovian dog, right? Like they're already trained, like, I don't like this. So unfortunately, like they go into something loving it, something triggers them, and then they start associating it, right, with something that they don't like, and their cortisol levels will rise, and which explains why we have such a high rate of dropout, like dropping out in high school or when you're old enough to speak for yourself. You're like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And there's like a biological reason for that, right? So like as parents, and I think this is like really important, I heard somebody say, our kids are not used to being uncomfortable, okay? And so as parents, we have to kind of, I had to make it in the middle. We have to kind of find the balance of teaching our kids it's okay to be uncomfortable. Like it's okay to struggle at something versus the line of when does my kid need help, right? Like, for example, I think I told you this, started telling you this earlier, but I was like, I'm gonna stop because I want to tell it to everybody. Like there was like it's okay for our kids to be sad. It's okay for our kids to cry, right? Because when we're adults and we're sad, we need to like know a healthy way to work through that. And the only way to do that is like, don't tell them to stop crying, right? So like if my kid is upset and he's crying, I'll be like, it's okay to feel sad. Like it's okay. Like I'm gonna let you feel what you're feeling right now. And then we could talk about it and we could work through it. But at that moment, I don't want them to think that like these emotions are wrong, right? Because we all experience them. Like as an adult, I get sad, I get angry, and the only way to know how to process them later is to learn how to process them when you're younger, right? But having said that, I also have a child who who had anxiety, who had fears, that I thought needed more than just, I'm gonna let you sit with your feelings at this moment, right?
So how did you determine that? Like what, because I mean, that's the challenge, right, as a parent. So what is normal, like nerves or discomfort, right? Because I do agree that I think to a large extent, like our kids don't want to be uncomfortable. They have to learn how to accept, like, especially in a sport like swimming, like the pain of working hard, because it hurts your body, right? Like all of that.
Yeah.
Or like the nerves that are involved in a big race. Or like the sadness that you feel when you fail. Those are all important things to work through, like as just humans.
Right.
And athletes, obviously. But like, how did you recognize in your son that the difference, like this isn't just normal?
Like, it's not normal, like jitters, right?
Yeah. That he needs something more.
Right. So this is where I will forever be grateful to BG and being on this team. BG's our coach. I think that, I don't know if he says this out loud, but like I do know that mental health is very important to him. Okay. He wants our swimmers to be happy. Like he wants them to be part of the team. It's like that part is important to him, you know? And he's like this big, I don't know if you probably don't know who he is, but he's like this big guy and like big dude and tall, right? And like on the exterior, he might like kind of scare some people, but inside he's like a big teddy bear. So like I remember Valen would be like, I think he was like 7 or 8. This was going on for a little while. And like he would sometimes take his hand and walk him over to the block, right? Or something like that. And like he made it okay for me to be like, is this normal? He made it okay to be like maybe we should skip a race. Like let him have that time to figure it out, right? So like it was an open conversation between us as parents, him as a coach, and him. And then, you know, when I really realized it was not just that, but like when I was sad that I'm gonna cry. I was sad that like he was sad, that he wasn't enjoying it. Like because like all I want is for my kids to be happy, right? And so like when they weren't smiling and like it was so much pressure on them that was weighing on them, it weighed on me, like right? And so I do think we have this like energies that like whatever affects me affects them, and what so how you act also is very important. Like you know you have to you can't have that anxiety because like you have to be strong enough for both of you. And so then I started researching it, and I was like on a bunch of forums, and you know because this is like also like I'm a psychology major, I'm an exercise physiology major, like I deal with sports medicine, and like here I am, and I can't help my kid by myself, right? So I was like, I need to help him somehow. So I started like researching it, and I found like a great mental health coach, and I've learned so much from her. And it is, I think like, so, and as I researched it, I realized this doesn't just happen to like my child. This happens to every child at a certain point, right? So like there's a lot of, Caleb Dressel is a great example, by the way. Like he has struggled openly with this, right? And with anxiety and things like that. There's a lot of high schoolers who
Michael Phelps too,
Michael
right?
Phelps. Like there's a lot of high schoolers who, Michael Phelps I think more after the sport, but there's a lot of high schoolers who struggle with like crippling anxiety out of nowhere, right? So I think that mental health, like coaching, has to be part of any program. Like I think it has to be made available to people, because it is not like, it's not like, I'm not talking about like a therapy session here.
Right.
It is like tools that help you in every aspect of your life.
And performance, right? Like so.
Yeah, in performance. So I think that for us, everyone always asks like, what's the difference between a small team and a big team, right? And for us, being on a small team really helps, because I think that if we were on a bigger team, we would have been lost.
Yeah.
It would have been like, suck it up and go, like kind of thing, you know? And that's not what happened here, right?
It's funny you say that, because I think back to my son's swim career, because he's about to be done with this part of his life. And I think of all of the kids that he swam with along the years, and so many like stars at various points, right? And I remember stories of like so-and-so quit because, you know, he just wasn't doing well, and he had, you know, he was depressed or he was anxious. And kids like who were like at the top of New Jersey swimming who stopped swimming, either forever or like for a certain amount of time, and maybe they came back. But like, what's amazing, I never felt like that either at Stack with a small team. But as I think back to these.
Were they on
these
bigger
kids?
teams?
They were on bigger teams, and so like I'm don't think that I'm not saying there's a
and
correlation.
But and by the way, there is a fit for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. There's big teams exist for a reason. People thrive on them, and then there's some people who don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I always tell this to everybody, like there is no perfect team.
Yeah.
Like right. So on a bigger team, would we have more relays? Yes. Yes, we would, right?
Because
there's
would
more
we have
people.
More long course practice?
Would we?
In a bigger team?
Yeah.
I mean, they swim in long course pools all the time.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, but that's
But like at the end of the day, so like and for example, we were in zones, right?
Yeah.
There was a lot of people. Like the big teams would bring like 30 people, right?
Yeah.
We brought like 3 people,
Yeah.
and I at that moment appreciated it so much because my kid is the kind of kid, and then there was other people who maybe don't appreciate this and need their space, but like my kid needed that. Like he needed his coach, right? And so that being on a smaller team gives you that. Like it gives you that like one-on-one and like where you can go and talk to them and you have like a relationship with them.
That's been my experience too. Like and our coaches like know our swimmers so well.
Oh my God, yeah.
Not that I haven't experienced the other side, so I can't like really speak to it. I can just speak to our experience. I'm sure there's amazing swimmers who've had amazing experiences on bigger teams, but like I would agree that for us, the right fit was the smaller team with like the more individualized attention, like the I mean, there have been meets similar to you where it's just Zach and BG going to these big meets, and our families, and like it's just even the fact that he would go to those meets for just one swimmer,
Yeah, and to me that's like invaluable. Like it's like even the other day, right? He he was walking out of practice, and we stopped and talked for a second, and like we were talking about a race that he did not know I was going to bring up. And like he literally knew my son's time like this, and he knew his splits like this. Like it's like you don't get that on a bigger team.
Yeah,
you don't get that. You can't
because there's so many more.
There's so many more people. So like I said, there is a give and take with every team.
Yeah.
For us and for our family, I will be forever grateful that when all of this was happening, we were on this team. We were with BG, and I will forever be grateful to him that he didn't. It's not that I was going to sweep it under the rug, because I wasn't. But it made it okay.
Yeah.
Right? It made it okay for me to talk to him about his upcoming races. It made it okay. Like he understood, right? Like we would talk things through. And we would like versus another team where they would just pick your events and this would be it. Like this is what you're swimming.
Right.
Like it gives my son a sense of control a little bit, in the sense of like he can progress at his rate. Like he can conquer his own challenges at his rate. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
Like for me, that is important, that he's young and he doesn't have to be pushed past his limit at this moment. He needs to be pushed to be uncomfortable, right? He needs to break through barriers, but it can also be in a healthy way. That's what it is. It can be in a healthy way. And so that is truly,
and he doesn't have to feel like he has to stuff his feelings and just deal with it.
Right. So I know like I had a whole list of things that I was going to mention, but I guess like the most important thing is like people will ask me, like, what does a mental health coach do, right? I'm going to share mine with you. Although I told her, I told her this morning, and I was like,
your pens ready.
I was like, Jackie, I really don't know, because I'm scared to tell people about you, because your time is so limited that I don't want anybody taking your time away from us, right? But she does have a lot of group classes and so forth, and she's just incredible. She has a lot of YouTube videos. She's a great resource for parents. Her name is Jackie Story. You can find her on Facebook, on Instagram.
Maybe she'll be our guest sometime.
I would love that. Like you would love her. She's so positive.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's not. I've listened to a lot of them, but I just love her. She's just so positive, and she just has this vibe and aura that like just makes you feel better right away.
And you said she's a mom of swimmers.
She's a mom of swimmers. She's a coach. She's a She's sports psychology, obviously, and I love that she's a mom of swimmers because she doesn't just like kind of like give you, she gives you the like mental tools, like, and tools to like, you know, in every aspect, right? Like just like little things. You want to like drop time on this, like, okay, this is like, but other things, and like in the fact of like she knows the race day, right? Like she knows how you feel coming up to race day. Like, so like she would be like, okay, 45 minutes before the race, this is how you're gonna think. And like 10 minutes before the race, this is what we're gonna be thinking about. Behind the block, this is what you're gonna be thinking about. And like just breaking it down that way really, I found, helped me and him, right? And I use this with my older son too. So like, this is not just for, I'm a big advocate of this for everybody. Like not just for kids who are struggling at the moment. For example, like I learned this from her and now I utilize it, right? So I don't really coach my kids, right? I don't tell them like, you need to do better. Like, I mean, sometimes, but like if they ask me. But like on the way to like a swim meet, if we're talking about it and they're like, I really want to do well in this, I'm like, well, okay, let's pick one thing at each event. Mm-hmm. And what's the one thing that you're going to focus on today? Like if it's your breaststroke, we're going to focus on finishing your kick, or we're going to focus on gliding. It's not like finish your kick and glide and breathe and don't bob your head. It's like they can't do all of that, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like we pick one event, and what is the one thing that you're going to focus on today? And that helps them not think about the million things and make them nervous, right? Yeah, right. And she has this example where she's like, if I tell you, I mean, she uses something different every time, but like, if I tell you not to think of a pink duck, don't think of a pink duck. Don't think of, what are you thinking about?
Pink duck.
The pink duck, right? Versus like, so like she'll give you the tools you need about how not to think about that. And she's very into like your thoughts connect with your actions. So like if you think it, it will happen, right? Mm-hmm. So like, I'm just gonna leave you with one thing and then you can look her up because I don't want to take her stuff. But like the one thing that and I liked this was like she has this tool like think about the 5 senses, right? So if you're nervous, like let's think about the 5 senses, like, and that kind of distracts you, right? So like, what do you smell? What do you taste? What do you feel? What do you hear? You know, mm-hmm. And that takes like if you start thinking about it, like doing it yourself, like even if you're kind of thinking about something you don't want to be thinking about, it automatically you're thinking about like chlorine water or something, you know? So anyway, so definitely look her up. If you have any questions, like you could always DM us. Like I know some people don't want to talk about this like publicly. I have struggled like, you know, like on forums where like I want to answer things, but then do I want to answer it? Because like I don't know, my case is not your case. But I always say this is like don't think of this as the worst thing that ever happened to you. It's actually a blessing in disguise, because if you actually catch this and do it the right way, it will make your child stronger in every aspect of their life, not just like in the swimming. And the last note that I will say, I promise you, I never tell my kids to be the best. So I don't say you have to be the best at this, you have to be the best at that. Oh, there we go. But I do say I want you to be the best you that you can be. Right? Like, so I don't tell them, like, it's okay for you to not be your best. Like, it's not, you don't have to be the best at everything. I told my kids' teachers this. I remember telling the principal this one time. I want Brandon to be the best Brandon that he could be.
Right.
You know? And
yeah,
so, like.
I tell my kids that a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You see? Mm-hmm. So anyway, like, that is the most important thing to me, for them to develop into the best human that they can be. And swimming is just one part of them. Swimming is not what defines them. This is just part of their journey. Mm-hmm. And it is part of like what is making them a better person. But at the end of the day, it is not who they are.
I remember having conversations with my kids, like after a meet, after a race, and like maybe they were disappointed with something, and you know, I would get like a cap thrown on the ground, and I would like be all over that because I don't like, that's not okay. And you know, we carry ourselves in a certain way, and like that's the expectation, right? Again, it's all back to those values. And I remember having conversations with them and just, you know, just resetting those expectations and making sure that they understand that, like, it's okay to be upset and it's okay to be mad in the moment, but we're not just like throwing our cap, and we're not like, we have to be able to manage those emotions, because I am not you could be the best swimmer in the world. I'm not raising you to be the best swimmer in the world. I'm raising you to be the best person that you can be. And so it's like raising a good human, not looking to raise a good swimmer.
Right.
Like if swimming happens as a result of that, that's amazing. But like the end goal is to raise good humans.
So it's funny that you say this, and I had my friend, one of my very good friends, I had a conversation with her the other day about this. I want to look at you when I'm talking about this, but I do want to look at this. And like, I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but like something happened, it was a totally different sport, right? Something happened on the fields, and in the moment, the kid didn't behave in a way that they wanted them to behave, right? And so they were like reprimanding them in that moment, right? And I thought about this, and we were talking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I am not a perfect person. I react in ways that I am not proud of, right? But the reason I know I'm not proud of them is because of the way I feel after, right? Like that is another thing, right? So like, we also have to give our kids a little bit of grace in the fact that like they have not experienced that embarrassment, like and feeling not proud of themselves, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like, and we, as far as our kids and other kids are concerned, we also have to teach them to be like, yeah, that was a really shitty thing to do, like of that kid or of you. But like, that's how we learn what not to do later on. Like that's how we learn what kind of people we want to be and don't want to be.
Yep.
So if I did see anybody throwing their cap on, like I would be like, oh, that's not nice. But then I would think of, like, I hope me and other people who are watching this would make me think about it and be like, you know what? They're a kid and they're learning, and hopefully they go home and they'll be like, I was a real jerk, and like I don't want to look like that anymore, right?
None of our kids are perfect,
right?
And they're not going to be. They're going to make mistakes.
And and I feel
they're
like
going to learn their lessons.
Yeah, it's
I think that's a great point.
It's great for you to pull them aside after and tell them that, because like otherwise, how would they know not to be proud of that? But at the same time, it's like, if you don't put your hand in the fire, how are you going to know it's hot? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, so in that sense, I do think we as parents have to like just be aware of like not to judge like our kids. Obviously, we need to parent them and show them right from wrong, but other people's kids too, because they're all just kids and they're all learning. So, you know, one other story. So anyway, we were at a swim meet and somebody like threw a ball, and it accidentally, I think, hit like BG in the head or something like that, right? And he turned around and he was like, who did this? And they were all like, you know, and we knew who did it, right? But the best part about that swim meet at that moment, it wasn't like who got a zone time or who got a goal time. But, and I'm not going to name names, right? But that kid was like, he realized like, damn, I should not have turned around and been like, so he actually took a minute and then went up to him and be like, I'm really sorry, that was me.
Aww.
And I was like, you are the winner of today.
Oh, I love
like,
that.
you are a winner in my eyes. Like, and you know, it stays with me, right? So like, yes, in that moment, like he did something he wasn't supposed to do, but he learned from it. And he also, like, he did, not just that, but he learned in the moment, like, I don't like the way it feels to lie, right? Like, I don't want to do this. And so he went and he apologized, and like, Beach was like, no problem, go ahead, like, go have fun. Like, and it was over. It was a learning moment, and it was over. And that was the best thing I think that happened that weekend at that meet.
I love it.
Yeah. So there, anyway, I could talk about the subject forever. So, and I'm sure we will continue to talk about it.
Yeah. I feel like this is going to be a recurring theme.
Yeah. And like, definitely DM us and definitely talk to us about it. I would love to hear like, well, other parents. I would love to hear advice from other parents, and I would love to hear like, and I would like to help anybody that I could.
Yeah,
I'm not an expert.
We're gonna start adding follower questions. So if you are listening to this, or if you see one of our posts on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, maybe.
Maybe. Well, let's not talk about TikTok. We're not. Me and TikTok are not friends.
But if that is the case, and you guys have a question, please DM us the question, and we're gonna start answering them during the podcast as well. We'll pick 2 or 3 questions to answer. I had a couple, but I can't get to them right now. So.
Okay. We're gonna think this through next time.
But
we'll save them. We'll save them.
Yes,
are we recording?
For sure.
We must be recording, right? I see the time going.
Okay.
Yeah, we're recording. That would have been really bad. Like if I would be like, Renee, I totally did not press the button. We would have just had this conversation all over again. And I'm sure it would have been different in 100 ways.
I know, it was so, I appreciate everything that you said and
Really?
shared. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I try not to like overstep and not share too much, because it's my choice to do this and not my kids.
Yes.
But like, so I hope that I'm doing it in a way that could help. Does that make
know
sense?
that is the balance. I feel like we're learning.
I don't want to invade on their privacy, but at the same time, I do want to help people from my experience, right?
Yeah.
And it's just my experience. So my experience could be totally different than yours, and so it doesn't mean that mine is right and yours is wrong. It's just, I hope maybe this will resonate with somebody.
Yeah.
You know.
So we have a challenge this week.
Yeah. What's our challenge?
I'm reading your notes.
This was like so serious, and I used to be so serious all the time.
I know.
Ow, I just hit my knee. What's our challenge?
So our challenge is to not be this week. I know we have some meets coming up. We personally have meets coming up. Our team,
and we are recording this again on Friday,
a little bit early because of those meets. And so I know I'm going to try this, although I am this mom that knows my kids' times. So, but don't ask your kid for their times, and try the. I love watching you swim.
I love that. Is
I actually it makes
or
me
have
a little
fun.
bit.
I love just have fun. Like,
yeah.
Because
I have to remind my very competitive swimmer that he has to just have fun sometimes.
Oh, I have to remind my husband, my very competitive husband, to be like, when he's like, go kick their ass. I'm like, no, that's not what we're saying. We're saying, go have fun. He's like, and then he's like, go have fun, like that, like this, he's like wants to kill me at the same time. But I get this is we're giving you a challenge, but at the same time, I just want to tell you, you could have two separate parenting styles. But if you blend them together, it could work really well.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
It balances.
You need the balance. And at first, it will look like you're cats and dogs, right? Because you have your opinion and we have this opinion, and how do we bring that together, right? In order to parent our kids in the best way, right? And that just takes time, and you might totally mess up on your first kid. We got it right halfway through.
I'm sure you guys have your own stories about that.
We got it right halfway through.
Yeah,
I feel like.
So I love watching you swim. Just have fun. No matter what you want to say, I am so tempted to be like, what were those turns in underwaters?
Right.
But I'm not going to say that.
Right, because you know why? They need to know that your love is unconditional.
Yeah.
Right? It does not matter what you do in that water.
Absolutely.
They can come to you and you will look at them, at least in my head, this is what I want them to feel. They are the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
They are, to me, they are an ice cream sundae. I just want to hug them and kiss them all the time.
You're so funny.
I don't know if that's what an ice cream sundae does, but you know what I mean.
I don't know what kind of ice cream sundaes you're eating.
L'Oreal. Anyway, where was I? Anyway, do you want to do favorite things?
Favorite things? Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go first?
Right, sure. So I was at sectionals, Speedo sectionals in Ithaca, New York. I don't love Ithaca, which could be one of my confessions. But anyway, we were at Ithaca, and I was at the meet, and my son needed Motrin or Tylenol, I forget why, and I usually have some random bottle, but I didn't in that at that time. I couldn't find any, and I was at the meet. We were the only ones, so it was just my son and me and the coach. And I had nothing, so I turned to the lifetime parents next to me, and they found me some some Advil, which was amazing. And then he had a great race, so thank you to those parents. But I always I found these little I think they're glass.
Yeah, they sell the glass.
These little glass containers, and they come in a pack of 20, a 20 pack. But I fill them up, and not only do I keep them in my purse all the time, my kids have them.
That's really
in their
smart.
backpacks, not their swim bags, because they're glass and there's no glass on the pool deck. My confession is I'm lying. I just realized that.
We don't talk
All right, I'm going to take them out of the swim bags. I'll get plastic ones for the swim bag. The wheels are turning as I'm saying it. Anyway, I'm sorry. But they were great. They're great. Amazon, we'll post the link.
Yeah.
And they're super cute. And
you could even label them.
You can label them. And yeah, so I have an apothecary in my bag now.
I love
in
it.
every bag, not just because there's a 20 pack. I literally have them everywhere. So I will never find myself, and I will be the mom that can share with another team when they need it.
That's good to know because I mean, I bring it with me, but sometimes I
had Sudafed for you the one time.
You did.
Because
Oh
I
my
am an
God.
apothecary.
You did. It was like we were at a Pokemon store, right? And my allergies, because I don't know about you guys, but the allergies this year were like bonkers. And I was like, you could see it. You could see it happening, right? I'm like, so we left the house, and I'm like, oh, I'm good because I took Sudafed. And like as the hours progressed, you could see like it changed, right? Like it was like, and I'm like, oh my God, the Sudafed wore off. She goes, I have some in my car. I'm like.
And I walked in the rain for you.
You did, thank you.
Like the pouring rain.
This was after an hour drive from a
Camp Bernie.
Camp Bernie, so that didn't help either. But I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the ride with me to Camp Bernie.
You too.
Oh, our kids loved it. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, New Jersey Swimming.
We love it.
The Leadership and Development Camp.
Yeah, you should all sign up for it.
Sign up for it.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
My favorite thing.
Your favorite thing.
My favorite thing, I actually was going to be something else, and then I ordered this for our meet this week. So we have a meet. All of our meets this week are outside. So we're going from one outside meet to another outside meet.
Because summer swim
It's
and
summer
firecracker.
swim and then firecracker. So we're constantly in the heat, and sometimes I tell my kids to drink, and they don't drink enough. And there was an incident with somebody at the pool the other day, so I thought, and I had already ordered this actually before that happened. So these are electrolyte hydration patches. So they don't require your kid to actually drink anything. You just put the patch on them. They're waterproof. They can wear them for the whole day, and it keeps their electrolytes balanced. And I'm very into. I can link the other things. Like I've started using these. I've started using like these vitamin patches that I think work really well. Like. I use like the vitamin B ones, vitamin D, like all
Really?
and they're really.
I've never tried a vitamin patch.
Oh really? I'll give you some. I'll link them. They're really cute too. They come in all different designs, so they kind of look like a little tattoo. You put them on here. They're cute. I actually even use them on my kids. They have like a kids multivitamin patch, so like they have an immunity patch, like a bunch of. I'll link them. And for me, I couldn't even take prenatals because they would make me really nauseous. Like I would vomit everything. So I have never been able to really take vitamins that well. So this for me works really well. And the same with my kids who you're like, take a sip of Gatorade. And they're like, they literally just take a sip of Gatorade, but when they're supposed to like down it. And if for anybody who doesn't like Gatorade, okay, fine, take a sip of water.
Yeah, but they say water's not enough for athletes.
It's not.
You need the electrolytes.
They do need, so this is great because this kind of bypasses everything and it keeps them. And by the way, ask your doctor before you use them. I'm not I am a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. So this works for my child, it might not work for your child. But I'm just saying in general, ask your doctors about it. And if they're okay with your kids using it, this is a great option to prevent like dehydration and stuff.
Love it.
Okay.
Confessions. I just had an accidental confession.
Do you want to do another one?
Well, I will do another one. So my son swam this morning. He scratched finals tonight, and I was really happy because I don't have to go back.
And she could come here and we could film and not rush. We were
trying to fit it in.
We were like, we need to be quick and to the point and no babbling.
And I would have been so happy to go watch him. However, I'm equally happy to be here and not there.
Yeah. And now I'm waiting for her older son to come over, and oh my God, we're gonna play. We got that old Nintendo system, like original from the 80s. Talking about like Tetris, Super Mario. It was Mario Brothers. So I'm super excited for that tonight.
Yeah.
You're gonna stay and play for us.
I will.
We're gonna battle.
I told your boy.
So my confession. I was gonna do something silly this week, but since we were talking about all of this, I'm just gonna do an honest confession for real. This might have not been like the funniest episode, but whatever. Okay. It is what it is. It is an honest episode. How about that? It doesn't have to be funny. It is honest, and I feel like that's what we owe you, honesty, right?
I like it.
And funniness too, but honesty. Anyway, so my confession is, I try to be the best mom that I can be. Mm-hmm. But honestly, on a daily basis, I just don't know if I'm messing them up or not. And like they confuse me so much because they're so different.
Gosh,
like I have two totally different humans, and I'm like, how did this happen? And I get it. Genetics are real because one is me and one is my husband. But like every day I'm like, did I do that right? Like, did I say that right? Did I answer that right? Like, did I think that through correctly? Like, did I push them too much? Did I push them not enough? Like, are they going to be okay? Are they going to survive in the real world? Like, are they going to get a job? Like, every day, I might look like I have it all together on the outside, but on the inside, I promise you, I'm answering. I think I'm asking myself the same questions that you're all asking yourselves.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's okay. And I think that good moms do that, because if we weren't worried about that, then I think that would also be a problem.
Yeah.
But all day I'm like, please God, just don't let me mess these kids up.
It's so hard, right? And then do you go back and like replay things and like you're like, oh, I wish I had done that differently?
And I learn from them so much, which is like a gift. Like it's a real gift that like, I'm gonna cry right now. Like, that they make me a better person. Like not just like a good mom or whatever, but like they make me a better person because like even Val, like he was little and I had like raised my voice at him one time. And I remember him looking at me and be like, I don't like when you talk to me that way. And like, so I changed the way I spoke to him. And now I kind of keep that in mind when I talk to other people. And they just make me a better person. So I'm grateful for that gift from them. And I just hope that I'm doing right by them because
I think that's such an honest confession. And I think every mom can relate to that. So
we don't know. I hope
we don't.
We
don't.
Hopefully,
I actually,
do you know,
I always like, so my oldest is 21. He doesn't swim. He's a pilot. But I always like, we'll have some moments together where we're talking, just he and I, and I'm like, Jay, I'm really like, I'm sorry, because you were kind of the guinea pig. And it's so real. And I learned so much from parenting him, and he wasn't always the easiest to parent, but like I learned so much, and I feel like, I don't know, my very favorite thing to be is mom. Like that's like such a gift to be their mom. And like, I really do love watching them swim or watching them do whatever they love. Like I was a hockey mom. I was a volleyball mom. I was a good hockey mom.
Yeah.
Once. Yeah.
I love being a mom so much. And there was this, I don't know, like a reel or a carousel, whatever they call it on Instagram. And it said, dear firstborn, please give us some grace. Because when you were born, we were still kids and we're just growing up with you. Oh my goodness. And it is so true. Like I said, we got it right halfway through.
I think I was 25 when I had my oldest. And like he's 21 now. I'm like, and so now it's starting to really make sense in his head. I'm like, Jay, like think about it. I was only 4 years older than you when I was became your mom. So like I think that puts it in perspective for him. Like I might not have had it all right.
And we were in different phases of our life. Like let's think about that too. Like when I had my first son, I was in residency, right?
Yeah.
And I this is just like mental health whole day now, right? I definitely had postpartum and didn't know it.
Yeah.
Like 100%. My mother-in-law will always say, like, I remember you sitting there and being like, because I would have to leave to go to work, right? And I would come home and be like, I'm your mom and you're my baby. And I would like say this to this little baby who didn't even know it, right? Or like I would be petrified of leaving him. So like I remember the first time I took a shower, I took the bassinet with me into the shower. Like I was this lunatic, and you know, so you think, I mean, listen, thank God he's a good kid, thank God. But like I did learn with him, and I didn't have time to even acknowledge the fact that I just need help in other ways at that moment. But and thank God I'm okay and everything's fine, and like trust me, I'm okay.
But it's real.
I'm okay, everybody. But sometimes it doesn't look like it. But
she's okay.
I'm okay. But to all the moms out there, you're not alone.
Yeah. And you don't have to be perfect.
No.
They're going to love you anyway.
Yeah, because nobody is perfect.
Nobody is perfect.
And let's all give each other some grace.
Absolutely. And give ourselves some grace.
Yeah.
Like it's okay.
Like, Like the...
I have a story for next week.
Oh, good. Well, like I say to both my kids when they're getting off the bus, out of my car to the bus every day, I'm like, just be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind.
To yourselves.
To yourselves and to everybody else.
You.
Yeah. Be kind and inclusive and just be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think that's a great way to end.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, I love it. Thank
All
you
right.
guys so
Goodbye,
much.
swim moms.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
We'll see you on
Be kind.
Be kind. We'll see you on episode 7. Be kind to us. Don't judge us.
It was an honest episode.
It was a very honest episode.
I'm not going to climb on your table.
I'm going to climb. Oh my God.
Almost. You're almost there.
Okay, really climbing. But I look so greasy when I do this. Okay.